Release the Kraken! Today we're going to talk about releases and fixed versions within Jira. Today we're going to talk about releases and fixed versions. What are fixed versions and what are releases? Well, a release is made up of a fixed version. We're releasing that feature to some kind of audience or internal or external customers. It just compiles all the work into one place. And it's important too, this might be a software team, it could be an HR team, it could be a finance team. You can still use it the same way. It's just collecting everything that's going to be released in that new version. You can see here on the left hand side I'm in roadmap. This is where you get the roadmap view. This is where that fixed version, if you have one, is as displayed. You can see here that I have MVP release 1.0 at this date. I do have this highlight on timeline, which is that blue, enables that blue line to show of where exactly it's on the timeline. To get more information of what's in this release, you can actually click on this. I'm gonna not do that because I'm gonna get there a different way. And I'm gonna get there by actually, on the left-hand side, this menu, clicking on releases. One thing I want to let you know too, if you do not see that option, you probably don't have that enabled in your project settings. Please refer to that video. I'll give you the video in the description if you don't see that displayed. The admin has to enable that. It's by default, it's not enabled. Keep that in mind. We're gonna go here. This is our releases. From the releases menu, this is the view we have. A lot of the same information we see on that roadmap. Version MVP release 1.0, status is unreleased. We're still working on it. You can see here, there's one done, one in progress, and one to do. We still have some work to do. Started on February 26th, March 12th is the release date, and some description here. And you can actually edit that however you want to. There's also some more options here. We can release, archive, edit, delete. This is as maybe the work's finished, we can release it. It'll still show up on here, this view. Hey, then you can archive it. Maybe it's a little older. Maybe you have 30, 40 of these fixed versions, and maybe you want to get rid of them so you don't have to filter through all of them. You can edit them. We'll go and edit this one now. You can also delete it. So maybe it's a duplicate. This top portion too, you can search bar. There's a filter here for release, unreleased, archive. You can also create a new version. You can create one just like this using a name, start date, release. And it'll show up here. So I'm gonna go into this fixed version or into this release. And now this is that view you'd get if you clicked it on the roadmap. You actually come straight to here. I just want to show you there's two ways to get here. And to start, let's talk about this bottom portion here. This is all of those stories or all that work that's encompassed for this release or fixed version. You can see there's some in done, some in progress, there's some filters on this type of work. Remember, this is more, it could be software, but it doesn't have to be software related. It could be maybe a menu for a restaurant. Maybe there needs to be a sommelier, someone that's doing desserts, and then someone's doing the main menu. Maybe this might be combined into, this is where we're releasing our new version of a menu. You can think of it that way as well. And so you can figure out, you can view issues in Navigator. If you want to see it in a different view, you can add issues. Maybe you've created issues that you want to add later. You can see here, maybe I want to add TMS-3. Maybe this is supposed to be in here. Maybe it was missing, add it in here. There's also this related work section here where you can add links and release notes. I added here a link to a metric dashboard that I wanted, analytics dashboard, monitoring dashboard, blog post, maybe something that has more information on this fixed version, maybe some context, maybe some business context, just something you can modify. Now at the top here, top of this release, it has a lot of the same info we saw on the roadmap, has remaining days, descriptions on release dates. There's also some managed warnings. If you have your repos connected, if there's issues with pull requests or unreviewed code, failing builds, that would show up on here and in the warnings. You can manage those through here. There's also release notes, where these release notes here are kind of like a revision table in maybe the beginning of a document or some kind of book. This is the revision. These are the changes for this version that's going to go into this new version. For documentation, maybe you have some kind of compliance, or maybe it's internal process. You can see here, you can copy to clipboard, you can save release notes, you can create this Confluence page. a good way to capture that, then you can release it. Maybe it's done. Maybe we didn't complete all the issues. Maybe we're moving them off to another version because of some market conditions or some other reasons, also some release dates. And then from here, you can release it. And remember, you can move them or you can ignore them. If you're not able to move them, you got to ignore them or else it won't let you release it. Let me know what kind of releases you use in your job in the comments. I would love to discuss